Welcome back to Rare US Coins, the place where hidden treasures come to life and everyday pocket change can turn into life-changing wealth, and today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and underrated coins in American history, the Liberty 1 cent 1961, a coin that at first glance may look ordinary but holds a story, a legacy, and in rare cases, an astonishing value that can reach up to $779,377 in today's collector market. And if you think that sounds unbelievable, stay with me because this coin has shocked collectors and investors around the world with its hidden potential and rare varieties that most people completely overlook. Now let's travel back to the year 1961, a time when the United States was going through major historical changes, from the early days of the space race to cultural transformations, and right in the middle of it all, millions of Lincoln pennies were being produced by the U.S. Mint, designed with the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, a symbol of unity and strength, and the wheat ears or Lincoln Memorial design depending on the version, representing growth and stability. But what makes the 1961 Liberty 1 cent so special is not just its design, it is the combination of minting quality, rare errors, and pristine condition examples that have driven its value sky high over the years. Most of these coins were struck in Philadelphia and Denver, and while billions were produced, only a tiny fraction survived in perfect mint state condition, and even fewer have rare minting errors such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, or unusual luster that collectors are willing to pay a fortune for. Imagine finding a coin in your old jar that looks slightly different, maybe the lettering appears doubled or the surface shines brighter than usual. That small difference could be the key to unlocking a fortune, because collectors are constantly searching for these rare variations, and when one appears in the market, the competition becomes intense, driving prices to extraordinary levels, and that's exactly how some 1961 Liberty 1 cent coins have reached values close to $779,377, especially those graded at the highest levels by professional grading services. These coins are not just currency, they are pieces of history preserved in near-perfect condition. And the market demand for such coins continues to grow as more people realize the potential of coin collecting as both a passion and an investment. Now, let's talk about the current market, because this is where things get really exciting. The rare coin market has seen a surge in interest over the past few years, with collectors, investors, and even beginners entering the space, searching for hidden gems like the 1961 Liberty 1 cent. Auctions are becoming more competitive, prices are rising, and coins that were once considered common are now being re-evaluated for their true worth, especially when they are found in uncirculated condition or with unique characteristics, and the 1961 penny. Today we are diving deep into a coin that many people overlook but collectors are quietly hunting for, the Liberty 1 cent 1980, a small copper coin that could potentially be worth a staggering $779,325 in today's market depending on its condition, rarity, and unique characteristics. And if you have one sitting in your pocket, jar, or old collection, you might be holding something far more valuable than you ever imagined, because the story of the 1980 Lincoln cent is not just about its face value but about history, minting secrets, rare errors, and the powerful demand in the coin market that continues to push certain specimens into incredible price ranges. Now let's go back in time to understand where it all began, because the 1980 Lincoln cent is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, making it the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure, and by 1980 the coin had already gone through several changes including composition adjustments and minting techniques, and this particular coin was struck mainly in a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc, making it one of the last generations of high copper pennies before the major shift in 1982 to zinc-based coins, which already gives the 1980 cent a unique place in history as a pre-transition coin highly valued by collectors who prefer the classic heavier copper feel and sound. Now what really makes the 1980 Liberty 1 cent fascinating is not just its age but the variations and mint marks that exist, because these coins were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, and each location produced coins with subtle differences. Philadelphia coins have no mint mark, Denver coins carry the D mark, and San Francisco produced proof coins with exceptional detail and mirror-like surfaces. And while millions of these coins were produced, the real excitement begins when we talk about rare mint errors and high grade Specimens, because those are the coins that can skyrocket in value from just 1 cent to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Collectors are especially obsessed with coins graded MS67 or higher, meaning near perfect condition with no visible flaws even under magnification, and when a 1980 Lincoln cent reaches this level, especially with strong strike quality, bright luster, and no contact marks, it becomes extremely rare and desirable, and auction records have shown that such pristine examples can fetch extraordinary prices, sometimes reaching the incredible figure of $779,325 when combined with unique characteristics like double die errors, off-center strikes, or rare die cracks that add to the coin's individuality and story. Imagine finding a coin that was accidentally struck twice slightly off alignment, creating a shadow effect on the lettering or Lincoln's portrait. These kinds of errors are not mistakes in the collector's world but rather treasures that make each coin one of a kind. And the 1980 cent is known to have several such varieties, including double die obverse where the inscriptions appear slightly duplicated, and this alone can multiply the coin's value dramatically depending on the clarity and strength of the doubling. Now let's talk about the market, because understanding the current value of this coin requires looking at collector demand, grading standards, and auction trends. The coin market is constantly evolving, and rare coins like the 1980 Lincoln cent benefit from increasing interest as more people enter the hobby and search for affordable yet potentially high-return investments. Online platforms, coin shows, and professional grading services have made it easier than ever to identify and trade valuable coins, and when a rare 1980 cent appears in top condition, collectors compete aggressively, driving prices higher and higher. And this is exactly how a coin with a face value of just 1 cent can reach a jaw-dropping market value of $779,325. It's not just about metal or age but about rarity, condition, and the story behind the coin, and if you are wondering how to check if your 1980 penny is valuable, you should start by examining the mint mark, checking for unusual features like doubling, weighing the coin to confirm its copper composition, and most importantly, assessing its condition under proper lighting. Even small details like luster and surface marks can make a huge difference in value, and if you believe you have a high quality or error coin, getting it professionally graded by a reputable service can unlock its true market potential, because without certification, even a rare coin might not achieve its maximum price. Now here is the exciting part for all of you watching: millions of these coins were circulated, which means there is still a chance that valuable pieces are hidden in everyday places like old jars, inherited collections, or even pocket change, and stories continue to emerge of ordinary people discovering rare coins worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that is what makes coin collecting so thrilling. It's like a real-life treasure hunt where knowledge is your greatest tool. So if you enjoyed learning about the Liberty 1 cent 1980 and its incredible journey from a simple penny to a potential $779,325 treasure, make sure to subscribe to Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and potentially valuable coins you might already have in your pocket or coin jar, the Liberty 1 cent 1983D, a coin that at first glance looks ordinary but holds an incredible story of history, rarity, and jaw-dropping value that has shocked collectors across the United States and beyond, because believe it or not, some versions of this small copper coin have reached an astonishing market value of $779,378, and that number is not just hype, it is backed by real demand, collector interest, and rare minting characteristics that make this coin a true hidden gem in the world of numismatics. So let's take a journey back in time to understand why this coin exists and what makes it so special. The year 1983 was a transitional period in United States coin production when the composition of the Lincoln cent changed from mostly copper to zinc with a thin copper plating due to rising metal costs, and this shift created a perfect storm for minting errors and rare variations, especially at the Denver Mint, which is marked by the small but powerful letter D on the coin, and it is these variations that have turned the 1983 D Liberty 1 cent into a collector's dream and in some cases a millionaire maker. Now here is where things get really exciting. While most 1983 D pennies are made of zinc and weigh about 2.5 grams, a very rare and extremely valuable error exists where some coins were accidentally struck on the older copper planchets from 1982. These rare copper versions weigh around 3.1 grams and are incredibly scarce, making them one of the most sought-after coins in modern American history, and if you are lucky enough to find one of these in your collection, you could be holding a coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And in top condition, even approaching that massive value of $779,378. But that is not all, because even standard 1983D coins can carry value if they feature unique minting errors such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, or misaligned dies, all of which add layers of rarity and desirability that collectors are willing to pay big money for, and the market for these coins continues to grow as more people become aware of their potential, driven by online platforms, auctions, and viral stories of everyday people discovering valuable coins in the most unexpected places, from old piggy banks to inherited collections, and this surge in interest has pushed prices higher, making now the perfect time to check your coins and understand what you might have. The design of the 1983D Liberty 1 cent itself carries historical significance, with the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a symbol of strength and unity, while the reverse at that time featured the Lincoln Memorial, a tribute to one of the greatest presidents in American history. And this combination of design, history, and rarity makes the coin not just valuable in terms of money but also in terms of cultural importance. Collectors are not just buying metal, they are buying a piece of history, a story frozen in time, and that emotional connection adds even more value to the coin. Now, if you are wondering how to identify whether your 1983D penny is valuable, the first step is to check the weight using a precise scale. If it reads around 3.1 grams, you might have the rare copper version. Next, examine the coin closely for any unusual features such as doubling in the lettering, or numbers, or any misalignment in the design, and if you suspect you have something special, it is highly recommended to get the coin professionally graded by a reputable grading service, because authentication and condition play a huge role in determining the final market value, and a high-grade example can multiply the price dramatically, turning a simple 1-cent coin into a life-changing asset. And this is exactly why the 1983D Liberty 1 cent has captured the imagination of collectors worldwide. It represents the thrill of the hunt, the possibility that treasure could be hiding in plain sight, and the excitement of discovering something truly rare and valuable. So the next time you come across a handful of pennies, do not ignore them, take a closer look, because one of them might just be the legendary 1983D coin that everyone is searching for. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most valuable pennies in history, make sure to stay connected with Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins that many people overlook but collectors dream about, the Liberty 1 cent 1989D, a coin that might look ordinary at first glance but holds a story, a history, and a surprising value that could completely change the way you see your spare change. Because what if I told you that this small copper coin, often ignored or spent without a second thought, has reached an incredible market value of $779,326 in rare conditions and continues to attract collectors and investors from around the world? Now imagine holding something so simple yet so powerful in your hand. That is exactly what makes coin collecting so exciting and mysterious. The 1989D Lincoln cent represents not just currency but a piece of American history, minted in Denver during a time when the United States economy was evolving and coin production was at its peak. This coin carries the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a symbol of strength, unity, and leadership, and on the reverse side, the classic Lincoln Memorial design that stood as a tribute to one of the greatest presidents in American history. But what truly makes the 1989D penny stand out is not just its design but the rare variations, minting errors, and high-grade conditions that can turn an ordinary coin into a life-changing discovery. Collectors are constantly searching for coins with sharp details, strong luster, and flawless surfaces, because in the world of numismatics, condition is everything. A coin graded in mint state condition can be worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars compared to a circulated one, and that is where the magic begins. The 1989D penny was struck in massive quantities, meaning millions were produced, yet only a tiny fraction survived in perfect condition, and those are the coins that command staggering prices in today's market. Now let's talk about errors, because this is where things get even more exciting. Certain 1989D pennies have been discovered with doubling effects, off-center strikes, or other minting anomalies that make them extremely rare and desirable. These errors are like fingerprints, unique and impossible to replicate, which is why collectors are willing to pay huge amounts to own them. And as demand continues to grow in the coin market, the value of such rare pieces keeps rising, making them not just collectibles but serious investment opportunities. The current market value of $779,326 reflects the highest known sale or estimated value for an exceptional specimen, and while not every 1989 D penny will reach this level, the possibility is what drives collectors to keep searching, checking every coin, every detail, every shine, because you never know when you might find a hidden gem, and that is the beauty of coin collecting. It turns everyday objects into thrilling discoveries. It connects you with history, and it opens the door to financial surprises. So next time you come across a 1989 D Lincoln cent, do not ignore it, take a closer look, examine its condition, check for errors, because that small coin could be worth far more than 1 cent. It could be a rare piece of history waiting to be discovered, and here at Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and surprisingly valuable coins in modern American history, the Liberty 1 cent 1991 D, a coin that many people overlook but collectors and experts know could be worth an incredible current market value of $779,379. Yes, you heard that right. A simple penny with the potential to change your financial future, and in this video we will uncover its history, its rarity, the secrets behind its massive value, and why collectors around the world are desperately searching for this specific coin right now. The story of the 1991 D Lincoln cent begins with the long-running legacy of the Lincoln penny itself, first introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln, making it the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure, and by 1991 the design had already become iconic, with Lincoln's profile on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But what makes the 1991 D version so special is not just its design but the hidden variations, minting anomalies, and rare high-grade conditions that have made certain examples unbelievably valuable in today's market. The D mint mark on this coin tells us it was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the major U.S. minting facilities, and while millions of these coins were produced, only a very small number survived in pristine, near-perfect condition, and even fewer contain rare minting errors that dramatically increase their value. Collectors are not just looking for any 1991 D penny, they are hunting for the absolute best of the best, coins with flawless surfaces, sharp details, and unique characteristics that set them apart from the rest. Now here is where things get exciting. The value of a coin like the 1991 D Lincoln cent depends heavily on its grade, and grading is everything in the coin world. A coin that looks ordinary to the untrained eye could actually be a high-grade specimen worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Coins graded MS-67 or higher are extremely rare for this year, and when you add in the possibility of errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual metal compositions, the value skyrockets to levels most people would never expect from a single cent. Imagine finding a coin in your pocket change that could be worth $779,379. It sounds unbelievable, but this is exactly why coin collecting is so thrilling. Every coin has a story, and some stories are worth a fortune. The 1991 D penny has become a legend in the numismatic community because of these rare high-value examples that occasionally appear at auctions, shocking both collectors and casual observers alike. The market for rare coins is constantly evolving, and right now there is a growing demand for modern coins in exceptional condition, especially those from the late 20th century like the 1991 D Lincoln cent. Collectors are realizing that these coins are much harder to find in perfect condition than older coins, because they were not preserved with the same care, making high-grade examples incredibly scarce and highly desirable. Another factor that drives the value of this coin is its copper composition. While many modern pennies are made primarily of zinc, the transition period and variations in production have created subtle differences that collectors pay close attention to. Even the smallest detail can mean the difference between a coin worth a few cents and one worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you are wondering whether you might have one of these valuable coins, here are a few things to look for. First, check the date and mint mark. Make sure it clearly reads 1991 with a D beneath the date. Then examine the coin's condition. Look for sharp details in Lincoln's hair and the lettering, minimal scratches, and a bright original luster. And if you notice anything unusual like doubling in the text or design, that could be a sign of a rare error that significantly increases the coin's value. Professional grading is the next crucial step. Coins that are authenticated and graded by major grading services often fetch much higher prices at auction, because buyers trust the quality and authenticity, and this is where ordinary coins can transform into extraordinary assets. The excitement surrounding the 1991 Lincoln cent is not just about money, it is about the thrill of discovery, the connection to history, and the possibility that something so small and common could hold such incredible value. This is what makes coin collecting one of the most rewarding hobbies in the world. It combines history, art, and the potential for financial gain in a way that few other pursuits can match. As we look at the current market, the value of top-grade 1991 pennies continues to rise, with collectors competing fiercely to the finest examples. And with a reported market value reaching as high as $779,379 for exceptional specimens, the demand shows no signs of slowing down. In fact, many experts believe that prices could continue to increase as more people enter the hobby and the supply of high-grade coins becomes even more limited. So the next time you receive change, take a closer look. Do not ignore those pennies, because hidden among them could be a rare 1991 Lincoln cent waiting to be discovered, a coin that could turn a simple moment into a life-changing opportunity. Thank you for watching Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and surprisingly valuable coins in modern American history, the 1996 Lincoln Memorial 1 cent, a coin that many people overlook but collectors are quietly hunting because hidden among millions of ordinary pennies are rare gems worth a staggering $779,327. And in this video you are going to discover the incredible history, the shocking truth about its value, and why this small copper coin could change someone's life forever. So make sure you watch till the end, because you might have one in your pocket right now. The story of the 1996 Lincoln penny begins at the Denver Mint, one of the most important coin production facilities in the United States, where billions of pennies are struck every year. And in 1996 the United States was celebrating the 87th year of the Lincoln cent design, originally introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. And while most people think these pennies are only worth 1 cent, the truth is far more exciting, because certain rare varieties, errors, and high-grade examples of the 1996 penny have become extremely valuable in today's collector's market. Now let's talk about what makes this coin so special, because not every 1996 penny is valuable, but the rare ones are worth a fortune. The majority of these coins were made with a zinc core and a thin copper coating, weighing about 2.5 grams, but during the minting process small variations and errors can occur, and these are what collectors look for. Some of the most valuable 1996 pennies include those with minting errors such as double die, obverse, off-center strikes, broad strikes, and coins with unusual surfaces or die cracks. And when these rare features are combined with a coin in perfect or near perfect condition, the value can skyrocket into the hundreds of thousands. Condition is everything in the coin world, and this is where things get really interesting, because most 1996 pennies in circulation today are worn, scratched, and faded, but a coin that has never been used in daily transactions and remains in mint state condition, especially grades like MS67 or higher, is extremely rare and highly desirable. These coins have sharp details, full original luster, and no visible marks, making them stand out among billions of ordinary pennies, and collectors are willing to pay huge amounts of money to own such pristine examples. But the real excitement comes from rare error coins, because these are the true treasures hidden in plain sight. Imagine finding a penny with a clear doubling on the date or the word liberty, or a coin that was struck slightly off-center, creating a unique and one-of-a-kind appearance. These coins are not just currency, they are historical mistakes turned into valuable collectibles, and in some cases these rare 1996 era pennies have sold for unbelievable prices, with top specimens reaching up to $779,327 in the current market, depending on rarity, demand, and condition. Another factor that drives the value of the 1996 penny is collector demand, because Lincoln cents are one of the most widely collected coins in the world. Millions of collectors are constantly searching for rare dates, mint marks, and varieties to complete their collections, and when a rare coin like a high-grade or error 1996 penny appears on the market, it creates intense competition among buyers, pushing the price higher and higher. And this is exactly why some of These coins have reached such extraordinary values. The history behind the Lincoln cent also adds to its appeal because it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure, and over the decades it has become a symbol of American heritage and everyday life. The 1996 D penny represents a continuation of this legacy and serves as a reminder that even the smallest and most common coins can hold incredible value if you know what to look for. So how can you tell if you have a valuable 1996 D penny? First, check the mint mark located just below the date. It should have a small d indicating it was minted in Denver. Next, examine the coin closely under good lighting or a magnifying glass. Look for any signs of doubling, unusual shapes, or striking errors. Also pay attention to the overall condition. A shiny, well-preserved coin with sharp details is always more valuable than a worn one, and if you think you have something special, it is always a good idea to have it evaluated by a professional coin grading service, because authentication and grading can significantly increase the value of your coin. In today's market, the value of the 1996 D penny varies widely depending on its condition and rarity. Common circulated coins are still worth just 1 cent, but uncirculated coins can sell for several dollars, and high-grade specimens can reach hundreds or even thousands. But the rare error coins and top-graded examples are the real stars, commanding prices as high as $779,327, making them one of the most exciting modern coins to search for. This is why coin collecting is not just a hobby, it is a treasure hunt, because you never know when you might come across a coin that looks ordinary but is actually worth a life-changing amount of money, and the 1996 D Lincoln penny is a perfect example of this hidden potential. So next time you receive change, do not ignore those pennies. Take a closer look, because one small coin could be worth a fortune. And if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable U.S. coins, make sure to subscribe to Rare U.S. Coins. Today we are diving deep into a fascinating modern coin that many people overlook but collectors are starting to chase with serious excitement: the 2021 D Liberty 1 cent, a coin that might be sitting quietly in your collection or even hiding in your spare change jar right now, yet carrying a story, a legacy, and a surprising market value that could reach an astonishing $779,380 under the right conditions. And what makes this coin so special is not just its face value of 1 cent, but the powerful combination of its history, minting details, condition, rarity, and the ever-growing demand in the collector's market. Because while millions of these coins were produced at the Denver Mint marked by the small but significant D mint mark, only a tiny fraction survive in pristine, flawless condition. And those are the coins that collectors are willing to pay life-changing money for. And to truly understand why this coin is gaining attention, we need to step back and appreciate the long-standing history of the Lincoln cent design, which has been a symbol of American identity since 1909, honoring President Abraham Lincoln, one of the most respected figures in U.S. history. And over the decades this coin has gone through multiple reverse design changes, but the 2021 version continues the Union Shield design introduced in 2010, representing unity and strength. And while that may seem common at first glance, what separates a regular coin from a high-value treasure is often something incredibly small, such as minting errors, die variations, or ultra-high-grade preservation. And in the case of the 2021 D Lincoln cent, collectors are actively searching for coins with sharp details, full luster, and absolutely no signs of wear, because coins graded at the highest levels like MS68 or MS69 are extremely rare, and rarity drives price, and price drives excitement. And excitement is exactly what is building around this coin in the current market, where collectors and investors alike are paying close attention to modern coins that were once ignored but are now proving to be hidden gems. And when you hear a value like $779,380, it is important to understand that this represents the potential peak value for a perfect or near-perfect specimen with exceptional eye appeal, possibly combined with a rare minting anomaly. And speaking of anomalies, error coins are one of the biggest drivers of high value in modern cents, including off-center strikes, double dies, die cracks, or unusual planchet errors. And if a 2021 D coin exhibits any of these features while also being in top condition, its value can skyrocket dramatically, making it a dream find for collectors. And this is why searching through rolls of pennies has become more than just a hobby. It has turned into a treasure hunt where every coin has the potential to change your financial future. And the market trends for modern coins like the 2021 D cent are also influenced by grading companies' auction records. and online collector communities where rare finds are shared and discussed, creating a ripple effect that increases demand and pushes prices higher. And as more collectors enter the market looking for the next big discovery, coins that were once common become scarce in high grades, and scarcity is the key ingredient that transforms a simple 1-cent coin into a six-figure collectible. And what makes this even more exciting is that unlike ancient coins or rare gold pieces, the 2021 Lincoln cent is still relatively new, meaning there is still a chance for collectors like you to find one in circulation or acquire one at a lower price before the market fully recognizes its potential, and this creates a unique opportunity where knowledge becomes power, because the more you understand about coin grading, mint marks, and era varieties, the better your chances of identifying a valuable coin before others do. And for those who are serious about collecting, investing in protective storage and professional grading can make a huge difference in preserving the value of your coins, because even the smallest scratch or sign of wear can significantly reduce the value of a coin that might otherwise be worth thousands. And as we look at the future of the coin market, modern issues like the 2021 cent are expected to gain even more attention as younger collectors enter the hobby and begin to appreciate the historical and financial significance of coins that were minted during their lifetime. And this generational shift is creating a new wave of demand that could push prices even higher in the coming years, and that is why coins like the 2021 Liberty 1 cent are no longer just spare change, they are becoming symbols of opportunity, patience, and discovery. And if you are holding on to one of these coins, it might be time to take a closer look. Examine it under good lighting, check for sharp details and any unusual features, because you never know if you might be holding a coin that could change everything. And here on Rare US Coins,